Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
And good morning. Welcome to Talkback, where we're glad to have you here this morning on this terrific Thursday with Trish and Nathan. It's got to be terrific if Trish is in the house. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I am fabulous this morning. Fabulous, Nathan.
I'm excited to be with you today. I heard you and Al chatting up yesterday, and the way this rotation works, I get to work with Sandra one day, I get to work with you one day.
Yeah.
And next week I get to work with Al because, just the rotation of things that work. So I'm excited to get to work with all you. It's an honor.
That'll be fun to have the two of you together, too.
Yeah, it'll be.
I mean, we had Sandra and I one time. It's just the way these things rotate, and the way all of our schedules work. And it's wonderful that it can be flexible for all of us, because for all of us, this is not our primary gig here. And luckily, I just have to walk a couple buildings across in the morning. And then
I pulled up into the parking lot and was getting my stuff out. And here you come traipsing across the parking lot.
Across the freshly mowed grass out there.
That's right.
But yeah, so every morning when I walk back out of my office, I go, okay, is it going to rain or is it not? Nick, I need to check and see because
you know,
I don't want to get caught. In the pouring down rain. That's right. That's right. So.
Well, good morning, everybody. We're glad you're along with us for this ride this morning, Nathan and Trish. We have a good show for you today at 7:30. Roosevelt Johnson will be coming in talking about the Keep Louisiana Beautiful activities that are taking place in South Alexandria on Saturday, which is the Love the Boot Day. And there'll be a lot of other activities going on around the state. We'll mention some of the ones that we're aware of. And then at 8:30, we have Mary Bird from the Kiwanis Club coming in talking about their crawfish boil. They're one of their two big fundraisers of the year, and how you can get tickets to that and why you would want to get tickets to that and all that good stuff. So,
see, we love talking about all these things, local, statewide, national, all these wonderful things, all these great things. And you know what I saw yesterday, Nathan?
I'm waiting.
I had to bring this up.
Okay.
I mean, it's something that I have to bring up every show, and I'm sorry to our audience if you get tired of listening to me, but there's a big basketball game happening this weekend.
Oh, is there?
There is.
Okay.
But you know what photos I'm about to share?
I have no clue.
Remember that the employment opportunity that is new to our area. We talked to the people from Global X down in Florida. You know, they're looking for flight attendants. They're looking for first officers. Great paying, opportunities here right out of Central, out of Alexandria, out of AEX. And you never know what you're going to be flying. So I saw the Auburn men's basketball team landing in San Antonio, coming off the planes. And what were they? But great big Global X airplanes sitting there. Yes. So, of course, I text my contact at Global X. I'm like, hello. Now I'm going to have to sign up for this. Now I'm going to have to get a third job. And because I want to do this, too. And he said, we have been flying so many sports teams right now everywhere that they can't even keep track of it all. Cool. I said, oh. So again, for all of you people out there that have ever thought they might want to do this and being a flight, I feel like being a flight attendant is one of those jobs that a lot of people dream about just because they want to be a part of the travel. This is a way you can do it, and you don't have to deal with those everyday passengers on, your mainstream airlines.
Right. Yeah, because I mean these
are charter flights.
Specialized flights.
I will happily hop on board with Auburn men's basketball.
Yeah, if it happened to be a retired football quarterback in the NFL that needed to go somewhere, I'm sure you wouldn't mind.
No, not at all. So
would you like sugar with your coffee?
Yes, Bruce, I will bring you your coffee.
Oh my God. Well, that was so neat because, when we interviewed them, they mentioned that they do sports stuff and then for you to get to see that for your team of all things. So.
At the moment they were talking about, they had just booked the AC/DC concert tour. So I was really in on that. But these sports teams too, it's all this, it's a whole new thing. And it's a new opportunity here for Central Louisiana also, So I thought that was pretty darn cool.
That is really cool. Well, Well, you never know what you're going to hear on Talkback with Trish and Nathan because we'll bring you all sorts of different interviews and different things that are happening in the area. The growth there, people laughed when it was Alexandria International Airport. I mean, I hate to say it, but there were people that were like, really? Oh, yeah, sure.
Nationally,
And we have international flights every single day out of there.
Just because it's not your commercial flight that you buy a ticket for. The point is there are international flights that come and go from that airport
And having the length of that runway and the fact that it can handle the heavier weighted planes gives a great asset for us.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
Really, really cool.
That was very cool. Well, and then I don't know, Nathan, I feel like we get the show prep sent to us every day. And so many, we almost never talk about anything on there.
That's true.
But today there were a lot of things that kind of hit me on there. First of all, did you see that today is the anniversary of the cell phone?
I saw
and
that.
not so much, okay, yes, it's the anniversary of the cell phone, not the iPhone, the cell phone, but what year it was.
When it said 51 years ago, I about dropped my jaw.
Well, it was the same year I was born.
Oh.
Like how?
Did I just say how old you were?
Well, you did, but that's okay. I don't keep it a secret. It is what it is at this point in time. But yes, the very first cell phone, 51 years ago today, a guy named Martin Cooper made the first ever cell phone call. He actually worked at Motorola, where he developed this technology. And can you imagine? I mean, I remember, I think we've talked about this before in the air. I remember still having a party line when I was really, really young. And then I remember, you know, again, it was just your regular old, but when we got call waiting was such a huge deal. Right. And, you know, you had it wasn't cordless. You had a cord that stretched across half the house. But the fact that this technology they were actually doing way before we knew anything about it. And that first phone, a Motorola Dynatac 8000X, was the size of a basketball shoe and had a talk time of 35 minutes and definitely did not have a camera.
No camera on that one. But you know, that wasn't long after Get Smart, the TV show in the 60s, had the guy talking into a shoe.
Yeah,
Dick Tracy was using the watch,
which now you can do.
Everything that was in
isn't that crazy?
In science fiction 50 years ago is
reality. But it makes you think back to when you got your very first cell phone, because I remember when I got my very first one, and you know, the great big bag.
That's what it was. That's right.
And to what we have today, because I run half my business off of this little thing that is how much smaller than a basketball shoe.
It's pretty amazing.
Very, very amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my first one was a bag phone as well. I remember, though, a friend of ours in the 80s had a phone in his vehicle. And his literally looked like a phone. It was mounted to the floor of his truck. He was a contractor. And he used it just like a regular phone. And I thought that was the most amazing thing. You know, I was a teenager. I'm like, I cannot believe this. You know, I had no idea how much he had to pay for that. But now I have a funny story. My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she's been gone for a long time, 20 years now, but she was very frugal, incredibly frugal.
Right.
Had money, but very frugal. And so she wouldn't pay to have a phone in her car, but she would put a phone in her car to look like she had
just to look like it.
And she claimed it was that if she was ever, you know, people were like approaching her vehicle and it looked like she could pick it up and pretend, right? But
hey, there you go.
My wife was like, Mom, you can't put a rotary dial phone in your car.
I do remember my first car mount phone too. Yeah.
Well, it's crazy the types of, you know, we'd run the microphone up through the visor.
Yes,
you know,
I do remember that too.
Might want to put an antenna on the back to get better reception. And there are all kinds of accessories that no longer.
And that was just after the day of having a disc man. And then you had the special car attachment for the disc man so that it wouldn't
shock absorber.
That had the shock absorber on it, so you could listen to your CDs in the car. That had the little adapter that you put in the cassette player. So all these things. But I could not believe.
That's hard to believe. 51
that
years.
It was in 1973.
The year you were born.
The year I was born. Wow. What a great year it was. But then teeing off of that, did you notice all the birthdays today? Because we're still, you know, Val Kilmer yesterday was you know, the news that everybody was so sad about. Realizing that he was 65. Do you realize Eddie Murphy is actually younger than Val Kilmer?
I did not know that. I thought he was older.
I would have too. Eddie Murphy turned 64 today. And then another one that was very relevant for me, Sebastian Bach turns 57 today, which I know you don't know who he is.
I'm reading what it says.
No clue who he is.
Metal band Skid Row.
Yeah. So. I had a life-size poster of him. He is only 57.
Wow.
Or remember how old I am?
You're 51, so
back in my teenage years when I was idolizing him and going to his concerts and standing there and, you know, he was only, how many, 6 years older than me?
Did you ever think, you know, if he just met me and He would fall in love with me. You thought that, didn't you? You thought it. Come on, you admit it.
I might have thought that about Joe Montana.
Oh, okay. I thought that about Amy Grant.
I think I thought that about Joe Montana. Yeah.
Tony Orlando has a birthday today, turning 81. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I thought he's been 81 for 20 years. So, Alec Baldwin turning 67. And what other names jump out you?
Jane Goodall. Do you remember watching Jane Goodall? I mean, I remember watching all of that and thinking, yeah, but she is 91 years young today.
And still kicking.
Yes. So, very
How about Mr. Las Vegas?
Wayne Newton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what's really funny is sometimes this list won't have many names that I recognize.
I agree.
Today has a lot of names that we recognize. And
then if this will make you feel old, if you remember Michael Jackson having his daughter, Paris Jackson, she is now 27.
It does.
Which that makes me feel old.
Well,
then I think about how old my own child is, the oldest one. And I go, oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah, we had that. And we talked about it Tuesday a little bit. I had a birthday this last weekend.
You did, yes. Happy birthday.
Thank you. But my mom is, she has a 60-year-old, right? So she's not really excited about that.
I know, that's the thing. When you're the parent and you realize what age your child is.
Going back to my mother-in-law, my wife is the youngest of 6. And her mother had a little bit of vanity about her. And my wife's listening. She'll agree. So she would tell me that whenever my wife turned into the next decade, it really caused her mother problems because she could say, yeah, my children are in their 30s.
Right.
My children are in their 40s. Because her baby was, so.
I know. My parents were hit with me turning 50 just not long,
Right.
Well, you're so good. And that's a huge, as a parent, that's going to be a huge one.
It will be.
When your kid hits 50.
It will be.
Wow.
All three of my biological children this year will be in their 30s. My youngest in their 30s. So
there you
35, 33.
There you go.
Oh, boy. Well, I don't know how we got on that topic, but I'm glad we're off of it.
But it's a fun Thursday.
It is a terrific Thursday. We're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, Roosevelt Johnson will be joining us, talking about Keep Louisiana Beautiful in South Louisiana. Stick around for that and more on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. Futures were plummeting this morning as the market reacts to President Donald Trump's new tariff announcement. President Trump unleashed the steepest American tariffs in a century, and that unnerved investors who see a trade war as a risk to U.S. growth. Trump said he'll apply at least a 10% tariff on all exporters to the U.S., with even higher duties on some 60 nations to counter large trade imbalances. That cup of coffee risks getting even pricier with the new tariff measures to hit Vietnam. The country is the world's leading producer of Robusta coffee, the variety used in instant drinks and espressos. The 46% tariff on its goods comes as coffee costs were already soaring because of harvest shortfalls. The Chinese online discount marketplaces Temu and Shein face a potential blow with a tariff loophole set to close May 2nd. The de minimis exemptions allow packages worth up to $800 from China and Hong Kong to enter the U.S. duty-free. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Sinla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Spring has sprung in Louisiana. Grab your friends and head out this weekend, April 4th through April 6th. Booked along the Tage Literary Festival in New Iberia. April 5th, Iberville Swamp Life Expo in Grosset. Wind down on False River in New Road and Croatian Fest in Belchase. Visit festivals.explorelouisiana.com and make your plans to laissez-les bon temps relais.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM. KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
And we welcome you back to Terrific Thursday on Talk Back with Trish and Nathan. And we have a couple of special guests with us this morning. Roosevelt Johnson joins us with the South Alexandria, Greater South Alexandria. Help me out, Roosevelt.
Revitalization
Organization. So thank you very much. And you guys have been cleaning up for a long time, and you're tying in this weekend with the Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser's Love the Boot campaign for a big event on Saturday.
That's great. And one of the things that's really important is that we've been doing this event for 18 years. And that's something that's real important to our community. It's very important to the city. We started off with 9 members. We have grown to up to 150 people that's involved, 40 groups, businesses, and organizations throughout the city of Alexandria. And that's something that we are very, very proud of, because that's why we came up with the name Team Up to Clean Up. It's a tie-in to Clean Annex, Love the Boot, Keep Louisiana Beautiful. All the things that we have to do as a city to get the message about keeping our city clean. Please don't litter, doing the things that we have to do that's really important here in Central Louisiana and Alexandria.
Well, and thank you for 18 years of leadership in doing that. The last few years, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser has really taken the bull by the horns and provided some statewide leadership. They're getting their events up to over 700 or 800 events, I think, around the state. They provide things like tongs and vests and gloves and trash bags and whatnot, which I understand you can even check out at the library if you want to get involved in on that level. Are you guys tied in with that KLB initiative?
Well, one of the things that we all tied it in together, because one of the things that this initiative will take place this Saturday, as Love the Boot goes from April 5th to 13th, is that we have different groups, organizations that's participating all throughout the city and in the parish. And that's something that's real important to our goal, our mission, the things that we want to do together. We might be under the name of South Alexandria, but the message is clear. We don't want people to litter. We don't want people to trash our city. We want people to trash our parish. We want to do the things that we have to do to get the message out in our city. Coca-Cola, AFCO has been with us 14 years. Coca-Cola's been with us 18 years. And we have a lot of partners. One of the most important things is that the Rampage Parish School Board, through the youth of our parish, have adopted the poster contest. And the last couple of days at the recent school board meeting, students was awarded, prizes by one of our sponsors, Coca-Cola, because the message starts at home. It starts with our youth on not littering. Please don't litter. Keep the city beautiful. Keep our neighborhoods beautiful and clean, especially as they drive to school and people see where they're going through educating our youth. And we want to start there. And the school board, I applaud the superintendent for helping us lead the way with that measure.
And kids will get on to mom and dad, when they see that. You're joined this morning by Donald Lacombe from AFCO Industries. Donald, good morning. Welcome. We're glad you're on the show with us today. Thank you for AFCO's participation in this effort over the many years. What motivated AFCO to join this?
Well, good morning, everybody. We're part of the neighborhood, so we just jumped right in to be good neighbors. And Roosevelt just mentioned the schools are involved. Can you imagine a day where we have a cleanup day and not have anything to pick up? That's the ultimate goal.
Well, that would be wonderful. So how does the AFCO get involved? You're sponsoring. Are you encouraging your employees to participate as well? What level of involvement does AFCO have?
Actually, both. We usually get anywhere from 20 to 25 volunteers of our employees that will come out. It's a family day. They bring their kids. Thank goodness for the sheriff's department. They help us block the road. We go up and down Lee Street and we help clean it up. It's part of our neighborhood.
That is great. And I love that, Roosevelt. I know you've got to feel really proud when people say our neighborhood, that they want to take ownership in something like cleaning.
That's real important because AFCO, they want to keep it clean. They want to be part of our community, part of our neighborhood. They located right on that corner, Lee, Broadway, and that respective area. And that's something I'm very proud of. When you have a company that's committed, they're dedicated, they're motivated to get out and be part of something that's great, and they never say it from the day one. Their management team, they say, look, we want to be part of our community. We want to be part of something that's great. We want to help keep our neighborhood clean, because I always say presentation of how we look as a city and community and the neighborhood is important. So our message to the community as people are driving, people going to work this morning, and people that's listening is that not only doing cleanup, keep Louisiana beautiful, I love the boot week. We want people to keep our city and community neighborhoods clean all the time.
All the time.
Please don't throw trash out the windows. Don't throw cigarette butts out the window and roll your window down. And when you come to a stop sign, don't litter neighborhoods and community, because when they go to a parking lot at the end of the day, if you look back at a parking lot, you can look how much trash is left on the ground by people just opening their doors, just throwing it out. Everywhere they've seen it. And it doesn't look good. But please, I'm asking the general public, help us keep our communities, our neighborhoods. It's part of what we do and how we do it to be successful.
Team Up to Clean Up. Y'all had a poster contest, and I bet you there was some great creativity on those posters.
Yes, it was. The kids in the schools and the middle schools throughout Rapides Parish participated in this. It was a great event for our students. It was great to see it. It was great to see the kids, see the students learn about what it meant. And as they grow older, and some of them, we're asking them to participate, in now and into the future. And some will come out Saturday, is that when they learn at a young age, they learn how important it is to do those things that's incumbent upon all of us by not littering.
The lieutenant governor said the same thing. We had him on the air with us last week or the week before talking about this, and talked about that too. Getting the kids involved, that's where someday we can get to that point where we won't have all of this litter everywhere, because they're learning it now and they're learning the importance of it. And you're right. They're gonna hold their parents accountable.
Right. And parental involvement is so important in this process. And that's what we want. We want the young people, we want at the high school level, the elementary level, junior high school level, and as we look to the future, to get more of our youth involved, because that's really important as they learn, develop, and grow. And that will be the message into the future, is that please don't litter, please don't destroy. We used to say this, please don't put your trash out when you're not supposed to put your trash by the side of the road.
Right.
Because if you put your trash out, the trash bag is not tied down. Guess what? If I'm your neighbor, my trash is flowing down the street to your house. It's flowing down the street in the community.
And I love how AFCO, you just make it a whole family day.
Yeah. We make it a family day, and we have ulterior motives. We have customers that come in from out of state, so they get to see what our town looks like. And when they come in and see a clean town, they're more motivated to purchase, to invest in us, so we can continue to grow.
Very, very true.
The other side of that is the environmental. Eventually, throw anything on the ground, if it makes it into the waterway, it's going down to the Gulf. So, I mean, these are the things that the kids are learning.
And one of the most important things is that the Alexander Convention and the Visitors Bureau is a big supporter of this project, along the Rapides Branch Sheriff's Office, City of Alexander, Clean Alex. Everybody's involved together. But again, when people come down with town, they come to our city, they drive in. The first impression that they can get, if they come in and they drive in, they see trash everywhere, litter everywhere.
Absolutely.
What does this city look like? What does our community look like? What impression does that give them when they come into conventions and those things and see the way we look? Because again, we want to look great for our city and community and our neighborhoods.
So as we wrap up our time together Saturday morning, when and where?
Okay, South Alexandria revitalization organization project, Team Up to Clean Up. Everyone will meet at 8 o'clock at Antioch Baptist Church at 2300 East Houston Street. We will meet at 8, start at 8:30. If anyone wants to be involved, call 318-613-0279. We still encourage all groups to participate. This is the great endeavor for our community, our neighborhoods, our city. And so we want people involved to be part of something that's great.
Well, thank you so much, Roosevelt Johnson, Donald Lacombe from AFCO. Appreciate both of you coming in today and sharing about the story.
Thank you.
Team Up to Clean Up with Keep Louisiana Beautiful, Love the Boot, coming up on Saturday. We'll be right back with more on Talkback right after this.
KSYL.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
There's no better description than to say St. Jude is a place of hope. My name is Lindsay. I'm alive today because of this incredible hospital and the generosity of so many who wanted to support it.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talkback.
All right, team up to clean up coming up on Saturday. Enjoyed Roosevelt Johnson and Donald Lacombe coming in talking about that. I went to the keeplouisianabeautiful.org/love-the-boot to find out more information, and they have a listing of opportunities all around the state. And if you, all you got to do is search Alexandria, search Pineville, Boyce, whatever area you're in, and now I was looking at, you just click on that map.
I know, and you can find all these different groups that are setting up to go clean up.
So, the word Alexandria shows up 30 times. That doesn't mean there's 30 events, because, for example, Alexandria Revitalization, Alexandria, Louisiana, 2308 Houston Street, has 3 times the word showed up for one event. But Alexandria Coca-Cola, Alexandria Garden Club, Alexandria Revitalization, those are some of the ones. A couple others that I'll mention to you as I scroll down through here, places that you can get involved with if you're interested in knowing. The Central Louisiana Regional Chamber of Commerce is having an event at 8 o'clock on the 7th at their office there at 1118 3rd Street. Also, Glass Act, who we actually had in here on Tuesday talking, they're doing something at 8 o'clock this Saturday. KLB TV is doing something. They have a private event that they're going to be participating in. And a couple of other folks, of course, the South Alexandria Revitalization Organization is listed on there as well.
If Saturday's not a good day, the police jury has theirs on there for April 12th at 9 a.m. I just put in zip code.
Oh,
and
great
you can put in a zip code also and search. And it brings up all of these. And then all you have to do is click volunteer. You can sign up to go help. And even if you don't show up, it tells you when to go. Did you say the Fort Randolph and Bulow
I was actually
site?
about to, because that's kind of the city of Pineville's cooperation with Randolph and Bulow.
Right.
And that will be at 9 o'clock on Saturday. And so there's a lot of good opportunities to get involved with. Bring your kids, kind of, put into them that heart of service. So. And
again, when we find this in home ownership, the pride comes from having things look nice.
Yeah.
And just like Roosevelt said, when visitors come to our town, when new people are coming and looking at moving to our town, what is the perception that they're seeing? And if we can all help keep it cleaner, that perception is so much better.
I tell you, just drive down Main Street in Pineville compared to a few years ago, and you'll see so much advance that's happened. And some of it is triggered. For example, Jorge Roca, a lot of people know that name, or some people know his name. He owns Ad Central, which is a national advertising agency, but he has bought up several properties in the downtown Pineville area. He's getting ready to open Little Chubby's, if you're familiar with that. He actually had a picture yesterday of their portion size, and they're testing the equipment, so they're really close to opening.
I was wondering how close that was.
Oh, and I know for him it's probably been agonizingly, when are we going to get this open? Because he gets asked that all the time. But he has boarded up fronts and painted things and just doing a great job. Others have come in, cleaned up old garages.
Well, you guys have a great program over there too.
Yeah.
For, to help with the facade of a lot of those buildings and businesses right along that street there.
Through the Downtown Development District, they have a facade grant program, and they'll do a matching grant up to $10,000 when a business wants to update their facade. And a lot of businesses have taken advantage of that.
You can tell the difference. So just go drive down through there, and it's a beautiful difference.
Well, how many times have we heard, you or different ones talk about somebody lands at AEX, which is a gorgeous facility.
Yes, it is.
But then you want to figure out which way do I take them?
Right.
Because, I might not want to go down this road. I might want to go this way to get them back into town so that they see something nicer.
I sound like a broken record when I talk to recruiters all the time, because, people land there. And if they rent a car, and depending on where they're staying, they just go into their, whatever map program they use, the route that program gives them as the shortest route is not always the route that shows off the best of the area, right? And so if they can be picked up by somebody, they can be shown, the prime example were the Global X people. They had come and been here on their own, but really didn't know where to navigate around town, what areas to. And they're bringing their employees here to stay for 15 days at a time. And so after they came to town and I showed them around town, I gave them the tour like we give. And we said, here's all the everyday things and the places and our local businesses that we support so well. And then it completely changed their outlook on it. And so now they're recruiting these pilots and flight attendants to come move here and base themselves here, because face it, the cost of living is so much better here than it is in Miami.
Oh, no doubt.
The pay is the same. And they're like, you're right. You know, they can live here and then afford to do all of these other things that they want to do.
And if they're working 14s and they're all 14, you can enjoy a lot of great life in Louisiana based in Alexandria. You can be in New Orleans in 3 hours. You can enjoy any type of cultural experience that you want. But
again, if we can make sure that everywhere is clean without, you know, it's hard for us living out 165 towards Woodworth because you do have the dump station out there. And so many times you see a lot of these trash pickup services that might not cover their whole load. They might not. And so bags will fly off and then you can tell, oh, there is a bag that got hit and there's just stuff everywhere. And, you know, I hate that because it's that drive from Alexandria to Woodworth. You know, Woodworth is a beautiful community.
It is.
But so many times you're making that drive and it just, you know, so there's my mission for the cleanup of Boot Week.
There you go. Keep
on taking that. Yeah.
Well, we have a phone call. We want you to join the conversation. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Nathan and Trish.
Good morning. I wanted to remind you guys there's another local event going on that we got to participate in last night. The Pentecostals of Alexandria have started their Messiah performance.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't been in years, and we went last night for their opening performance, and it truly is phenomenal. They're living pictures. They do a great job, and I think it's a great thing for our community to participate in.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you for that reminder. I saw the billboard. I've attended many times. That is one of the absolute best experiences you'll have anywhere. So thank you for that. I'm on their website to check to see if they still have tickets. And you basically, it's pretty easy to go to poa.church/Messiah and then pick a day. They have three weeks of dates that are available, and you'll be able to find dates that might work for you. So thank you for that great reminder.
Yeah, thank you for that reminder. I think he hung up.
Oh, yeah, he did.
No, we say, like, what is there to do here? We have some amazing things that happen here, and that is one of them.
It is. You know, I've taken people to it, and they're stunned the level of
talent,
exceptionality. Talent, excellence.
Yes.
The last time I went, which was the last time they did it, they're always adding little things here and there. And I know this story,
right?
I'm not unfamiliar with the story, and I still find myself crying, and I still find myself moved deeply. So much appreciate Pentecostals of Alexandria bringing that to Central Louisiana on the level that they do. And, you know, we have some great, you know, whenever Calvary does their Calvary Christmas, that's another great example of, you know, excellence in production.
I am always amazed at, like you said, the production value of these performances that these great churches we have here give. And again, the talent that is there. So take advantage of it.
Absolutely. We got to take our next break. We'll be right back with more with Nathan and Trish on Talkback right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atlas Energy. I dig all around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and get a headache. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. So call 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. It's free and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
What's happening in the new normal? How it impacts you. CBS News Radio. Every hour at the top of the hour.
970 AM, 104.9 FM. KSYL. Now back to Talkback. 970 AM, 104.9 FM. KSYL.
I feel like I'm right into a Western movie with the little spaghetti music there.
That is. I never thought about that until you just said that.
Kind of a Clint Eastwood feel.
Yeah, we have that one a lot, so now I'm going to think about that every time.
You're welcome.
Riding in the saddle. Yep.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Other things that are going on. I'm sure we'll get a phone call tomorrow, but the first Saturday of the month is rolling around. So probably going to be breakfast over at the airport.
You can never forget the fly-in breakfast.
I know. And look, I don't know if you've been there. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a great community experience.
It is.
You know,
it is.
$10 for, I think they say all you care to eat is, I think is how they say it. And just the people that you bump into, that you get to visit with and hang out with. And the airport is really the recently redone the runways, and more people are flying in there. I'm hoping they'll have a spring fly-in for the EAA, or I just love it when they do.
Yeah, they usually do.
All the amazing aircraft that gets brought in. A quick shout out to Harlow's Donuts, celebrated 40 years of local ownership by the family that has run that, getting up every early morning. The Burr family that has done that for many, many years. And I was thinking about that a minute ago when we were talking about our community and how awesome it is. The local ownership is so amazing. And like when Aaron Atwood comes in and he talks about what they're doing at Atwood's Bakeries, he is so quick to say, we have great bakeries here in Central Louisiana.
That's the thing. Our local businesses, and this is what I love sharing with people that are coming to our area, is we really do support our local owned businesses so well here. But whether it's, the bakeries, the restaurants, the clothing shop, like everything. And when you understand, I mean, it's like Matt and I in real estate. Right. We are great friends. We support each other very well because you understand there's business out there for everybody. Right. Everybody has a different business model. And the more we support each other, the better our whole industry is. And it's wonderful when they look at things that way too. And it's not all about competition. It's about supporting each other, making our community better, which makes all of our businesses thrive better.
And what I have discovered is that local business owners love to support local business owners. They
Absolutely, because they get it. Yes.
Yeah, I was driving one around Pineville within the last week. He's looking at expanding into the Pineville market. So we were just driving around. He starts naming this person and that person and this person. He knew more of the owners than I did. And I've been in Pineville all my life. But because he's a business owner that deals with local folks, this is where so-and-so lives, and this is where such and such business is. And
so
just
speaking of, we had Graham Kramer spoke at Rotary this week. And
I bet he's got some stories.
Talked about growing up here in Alexandria and then, going off. And what he did during the war was amazing. And then coming back. And, his daughter, Sarah, is 5th generation of that business right there. Talk about a local-owned business that does so much here for our community. But, yes, his stories about the people and the businesses and the things and oh man, the pictures that he showed and for me it was the real estate, right? Some of the houses that he had pictures of that used to exist along like Bolton Avenue and that whole area. I wish we still had those today. Yeah. Like I hate that we have lost some of those. He talked about the one that had the floating dance floor. So that the guy would hold all the big dance parties there. And when you did the waltz, you would float along with the floor. I mean, where is that today? Wow. But it was so neat. And he did, and we were sitting there and we realized at the end, there was not a single person looking at their cell phone the whole time.
Oh, that's when you know.
We were so engaged in everything that he was talking about. And he was just, it was nonstop the whole time. So it was excellent and I enjoyed it so much.
Man, that is great.
People like that are a treasure in our community.
No doubt. Yep. Well, we're coming close to the end of the hour. We still have time for your phone calls at the BOM talk line 318-442-8255. In the next hour at 8:30, we'll be talking with Mary Bird. She's the owner of a local business, but she's here talking about the Kiwanis Club Crawfish Day fundraiser. But we also will be talking a little bit about Liberation Day and the tariffs that went into effect yesterday and some takeaways from that. A little clip that Trish shared with me that we'll play. And a chart that I'll have to describe for you because you can't show it on radio. But
we've tried holding it up to our little screen here on our live feed. If you watch our live stream,
But President Trump actually displayed a chart of the tariffs and what they're going to, and it's really pretty stunning. Where people don't realize when he says that we've been taken advantage of, he is absolutely right.
And I'm looking forward to the 8 o'clock hour breaking that down a little bit because I feel like we need that whole span of time. But it is such a glaring example right now in the news media of that, which way are they spinning all of this?
Almost an anti-American approach in the national news.
Right. Because you look at that graph or those charts that he had, and how do you just sit back and go, well, of course we need to do this,
Right.
Like, how have we been taken advantage of so much and nobody talks about this? Nobody talks about it. So,
President Trump ain't afraid to talk about it.
No,
and so we'll be doing that. All right, somebody else wants to talk about it. We're going to go to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Nathan and Trish.
Yeah, I have a story I think you'll appreciate. I saw on Fox News website, singer Bobby Sherman has terminal cancer, has only a few days to live. So anyway, the name kind of sounded familiar. So I looked him up on the internet. And he was a teenage heartthrob back in the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He made quite a few records. He was on a good many television shows, and he was in a couple movies. He had some golden records. But anyway, he was very, very popular.
Right.
Anyway, he became disillusioned with the celebrity lifestyle. So he just quit he just dropped his singing and everything, and he went to EMT school, and he became a paramedic. And then he was a reserve officer for the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and the LA Police Department. So he worked as a paramedic, and he also taught first aid and CPR to policemen and sheriff's deputies for years. It's really an amazing story.
It really is. I'm glad you brought that up. I saw that yesterday, and when I saw that he had stepped away from the limelight to pursue, first responders, like you say, paramedic, EMT, and the deputy, the reserve officer. What a great hero! And thank you for bringing that to our attention. I've got about 5 seconds before they're going to start talking, but I appreciate your call. Good day to you, and we'll do more.
Talk back. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
FM 104.9, AM 970, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HP3, Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock. CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Americans are holding their collective breath a day after President Trump announced the highest tariffs in nearly a century.
As people who weren't in favor of his platform and what they were running for, watched other people get duped, and now we're all paying the price for it.
Very concerned about even 10%. Could be a lot of money for a $1,000 item.
Fears have set in ahead of the markets open in half an hour. Dow futures are down 1288. NAS futures off more than 4%. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is defending the new tariffs.
Lutnick told CBS Mornings, America has taken care of the world. Now he says it's time to take care of American manufacturing and workers and balance the trade deficit. He acknowledges the tariffs will drive some prices up.
Foreign goods may become a little more expensive, but domestic goods do not.
As for the slumping stock market, as investors fear a global trade war?
Sure, there's going to be some short-term movement, but this is a reordering of global trade.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Tariffs on cars and trucks kick in today. One manufacturer has announced special pricing. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert from Detroit.
Ford will offer employee pricing on most of its vehicles from now until June 2nd. The deal comes as car makers are concerned that tariff-related fears could keep people away from dealerships.
At least 3 deaths have been confirmed in violent storms and tornadoes that tore through cities from Oklahoma to Indiana, Texas to West Virginia. 4 people were injured in Kentucky when a church was hit by debris. The fear now, water. CBS meteorologist Kate Bilo.
This is going to be days upon days of potential flooding rainfall. How much are we talking? We could see as much as 10 inches of rain before all is said and done.
The same day Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu arrived in Budapest, Hungary's government says it's leaving the International Criminal Court. Reporter Linda Gradstein from Jerusalem.
The trip to Hungary is Netanyahu's second trip abroad since the ICC issued its arrest warrant against him, accusing him of war crimes in Gaza. Instead of arresting Netanyahu, Hungary welcomed him with a military honor band and said the country would begin the process of withdrawal from the ICC.
Maybe it's the price? Disneyland and Disney World conspicuously absent from a top 5 list of favorite theme parks. Number 1, Orlando's Discovery Cove. 2nd, Knoebel's Amusement Resort in Pennsylvania. Next, Tennessee's Smoky Mountain Alpine Coaster. And then Universal Islands of Adventure in Florida, followed by Disney, California Adventure. NASDAQ futures down 881. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work? Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore. Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app? Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WINNING for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WINNING. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNING for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WINNING.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Andrew Greenstein. Parents can now see how taxpayer dollars are being spent on public education thanks to the Louisiana K-12 School Transparency Project portal. It's a website providing financial data on public and charter schools. The project was mandated by Act 370 from the 2023 legislation, authored by Baton Rouge Senator Rick Edmonds.
I created this mainly for parents and taxpayers can find out what their systems are spending, what their local school is doing, and where their dollars are going for their kids to be educated.
A new study shows that fewer Louisiana high school students are involved in internships and apprenticeships than in neighboring states. State Superintendent of Education Dr. Cade Brumley underscores the need for collaboration between businesses, schools, and policymakers to strengthen career education and expand work-based learning programs.
We need people that aren't going to college to come out with a credential from high school, to come out understanding the soft skills, and they need some level of OJT, on-the-job training, before they get here.
LRN.
Hey, Louisiana. It's time to volunteer for Keep Louisiana Beautiful's annual Love the Boot Week, the state's largest litter cleanup and beautification event. Every effort, large or small, creates a lasting impact. So let's join the movement to make Louisiana a cleaner and greener place to call home. Love the Boot Week takes place April 5th through 13th. Sign up to volunteer or organize an event at lovetheboot.org. Brought to you by the Office of the Lieutenant Governor and Keep Louisiana Beautiful.
Good morning, our Thursday, another mostly cloudy day, still warm, 88 for the afternoon high. The wind, a major factor again today. Southerly breeze 10 to 20, gusting as high as 35. Now tonight, mostly cloudy, windy, 72 for the overnight low. And our Friday, finally, a little bit of sun, partly sunny skies, 89 for the afternoon high with the chance of an afternoon shower. And that's your forecast from the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center. I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 76 degrees in Cenla.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
It's hour 2 on Talkback for Thursday with Trish and Nathan. Glad to have you along for the ride with us this morning. In the last hour, we got to talk to Roosevelt Johnson from the Greater South Alexandria, or the South Alexandria Revitalization Corporation, and their big Love the Boot Week activity on Saturday, with other things going around the area. At 8:30, we will be talking to Mary Bird, who will be talking to us about Kiwanis Club and their big fundraiser coming up later this month. But for the next half hour, we would love to have your phone calls, as Trish and I want to chat a little bit about some of the national stuff that's taking place. Liberation Day was yesterday, as it was called. And every time I hear that, I think of, like Victory Over Europe Day, or VE Day, or Victory Day. And so I think that's kind of how President Trump was proposing it, because, the numbers that he's presenting on tariffs, and he keeps using the phrase, and this is a critical phrase, reciprocal tariffs.
Absolutely.
There's no punitive tariffs. There's no, except for, I think, if somebody buys oil from Venezuela, you're going to get some tariffs with that. Okay? And that is a punitive tariff. But outside of that, the idea is to make America more competitive for local and domestically created both jobs and products. So the U.S. trade deficit has been amazing over the last few years.
I grew up in the manufacturing industry. My grandparents owned a manufacturing factory. They manufactured shoe soles and topless for women's heels. And I mean, if you look at what happened, through the course of when everything was made here, and quality mattered, and being made here in America mattered back in, the 60s, 70s when they were really, really growing this business, to then everything got outsourced overseas. Everything could be made cheaper. The quality wasn't as good, but it didn't matter because it was so much cheaper. And so, now he is about bringing this stuff back to America, making it matter that things are made and manufactured here. And you know what that means? That means more people with good paying jobs right here in America.
And that's absolutely critical. And in fact, I want to play something that you sent to me from a representative, Bernie Moreno, from Ohio, who makes that point probably better than I can. So let me cue this up. And guys, listen to Representative Bernie Moreno as he explains how tariffs are going to help your neighbor.
Ultimately, what we're looking to do is very simple. We need cars made here in America that are sold here in America. It's extremely important that happens to rebuild our middle class, rebuild our industrial sector, rebuild cities like the ones I represent in Ohio. And of course, eventually you need customers. And if we keep cutting out our middle class, who are we going to sell these cars to? Henry Ford taught us that. Pay your workers well, and they can buy the very products that they make.
One question, if there is, inventory at these dealerships, because certainly they have been stocking up in anticipation of this, especially with the 1 month delay that President Trump gave them. What happens? How quickly can this turn around for production inside the United States? Because obviously a lot of the cars, even ones made here, have parts that come from other places.
Well, remember, the cars that are made final assembly in the U.S. and get parts from Mexico and Canada, those cars, if they're USMCA compliant, they don't get any tariffs. So they're completely tariff-free. So that's a big population of vehicles. The only ones that are mostly hurt are the cars that are made overseas exclusively and are shipped into the United States. The ultra luxury cars, I think the Democrats should rally around this tariff, because let's face it, if you're tariffing a guy who buys a Bugatti for $4 million, it's a tax on the very, very wealthy. You'd think Chuck Schumer should be applauding that, right?
What about a Mercedes dealership in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, though?
Yeah, well, Mercedes makes a lot of cars in Alabama, a huge chunk of them, actually exports some, by the way. And I think those cars will only have tariffs as much as the engines, transmissions, and electronics that come from Europe. If the other parts come from the U.S. or Mexico or Canada, there's no tariff.
But if you're experienced running a dealership and you've got this inventory, are you going to make those prices go up because you've only got 90 days of inventory and then you're not really sure what that's going to look like in terms of a lot of those cars that are made in other countries? You're not sure. I mean, you can't just that quickly make all of those in the United States. So you're going to run out of cars.
Well, again, two different worlds. The luxury car world, somebody's buying that $200,000 car, that $500,000 car. There's a lot of price elasticity. The person who's buying a $500,000 car, if it's a little bit more expensive, they don't care. Like I said, it's an ultimate tax on rich people. You're talking about the mainstream cars, a Honda, a Toyota, a Subaru, a Ford, a Chevy. If one car goes up in price because there's a tariff, that person will just buy the other one that doesn't have a tariff, which is your American-made automobile. And places like Ohio benefit because your neighbor is employed as a result of that car being made in the United States.
That last statement, your neighbor benefits.
Yep.
It's got to resonate with people because really this is what it is. It's about bringing good paying jobs back to America.
And he's right. If we keep getting rid of the middle class, there's not going to be anyone left to buy all of this. And I can relate this to the housing industry right now. And some of the material that I brought with me to talk about today is, we've been looking at what income you have to have in all areas of the country to be able to afford the average home in that area. And I mean, this is the thing, we're pricing, the wages are not keeping up with what it takes to buy a home. And then if you look at, I was on a broker call yesterday, we had all of our Louisiana brokers on a call talking about a lot of these things. You look at the ages that are buying homes now, the millennials are having to wait so much later to buy because they can't afford it. with the income that they're making in relation to what it's going to cost them to buy a home. So this is affecting our industry.
How do you get income to grow? You need more employment that provides better paying jobs. All right, we have someone that wants to join the conversation. Good morning. You are on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
Good morning. It is a terrific Thursday, isn't it?
It is terrific. It is.
So I'm not upset with the tariffs. My industry is gonna take another hit for the cost of imported steel, copper, and aluminum.
Yeah.
Right. But in the last 4 years, we've already seen our prices on equipment double. So I'm not too taken aback by it. But if it gets more American jobs, it's worth it. It may be harder for a little while, but when Americans go back to work, everybody benefits. And that we've got to keep a focus on the positive there. And why would we accept tariffs from other countries and not have a reciprocal tariff on their goods?
Bingo.
That blows me away. Like we're okay with us getting taxed for bringing things in or sending things to people, but if it goes the other way, why was there a problem? It really makes you wonder who allowed those policies in place to begin with.
Right. And I think that's what people are missing. I think that probably the majority of American people don't realize that there are these reciprocal tariffs. Well, that these are reciprocal tariffs. They didn't realize that these tariffs were being charged anyway.
Right. Exactly.
We were kept in the dark on a lot of that. Right.
And if you look at the chart that President Trump and his office put out, our reciprocal tariffs, and I think the most extreme is 50% of what they're already charging us.
Correct.
So
it's not even for even here.
Not.
I mean, you look at China. Well, and China is at the top of the list. They charge 67% to us, and we're only charging them back 34%.
And that's the new number.
That's the new number. Right. Yeah. Japan 46%, and we're going to charge them 24%.
Yeah, I mean that gives us more room to negotiate on with them as well. Do we need to make this higher? I know Canada at one time had an import tax of like 200% on dairy.
That's right.
Yeah.
From us,
yeah.
So we couldn't send them dairy for any cheaper because of the tariffs. Well, people don't pay attention to those things, and that's really what makes the difference.
Yeah, and again, huge industry where I'm from, the dairy farmers. So what does that do to the dairy farmers when, that's being charged? Well, good point.
Exactly.
And that props up the Canadian dairy farmer, which I don't know how many there are, but there are enough of them that they're trying to protect that industry. I think it was closer to 257%, if I recall. It was a huge number. And so, our numbers we're not even getting close to that on putting the tariffs on them.
No.
The one I'm not sure about, I did see that Israel announced yesterday they were eliminating all tariffs on American-made products.
That too, which is the whole point. The man, if nothing else, is a master negotiator. And all of these things are negotiation tactics.
That's right.
Right?
I sure appreciate your call.
He is definitely putting America first.
And look, if another country wants to put themselves first, that's great. But we don't put them first. So you've got to look out for your neighbor.
Hey, thanks for the phone call.
Thanks so much. The next call, you're on the line. You hear good morning. Welcome to Talkback.
So I hate to interrupt tariff talk, and I am late to the phone call this morning. Has anybody mentioned the temper tantrum that Governor Toddler has thrown regarding the amendments not passing?
Not today. I think it was talked
every other day it has been.
Yesterday and Tuesday, but not today.
Okay, well, I was just, I'm a little late to the ball game. I actually worked this week, believe it or not. But so when are we going to quit worrying about this kind of stuff and stop renting Tigers for the LSU football game and fighting parishes over the 10 Commandments and eliminate our state income tax, get rid of these trial lawyers? You go to any other state, there are not billboards promoting suing industries, and get rid of these regulations. That's what the people elected you to do.
I'll tell you what, yesterday, I don't know if you heard Moon Griffon, but Moon was ripping big time yesterday. The trial lawyer connection, the fact that it's almost like they have to go ask, these trial lawyers, what do you think about a bill?
Yeah.
So Moon was really taking the entire process to task.
And look, now Mississippi just did it. So here we sit between two states, and we're trying to get people to come here. How are we going to win in this?
We're not.
Right?
We're not going to win.
Right.
Our surrounding states have car assembly plants. How many do we have? I mean, Milwaukee Tool is now assembled in Mississippi. Do we have any tool assembly plants? Do we even have a timber industry left? I mean, you can't have a pulpwood truck in Louisiana because of all the insurance, and that's directly tied to the injury lawsuit by the trial lawyers. Until that changes, we're not going to win. I mean, we can hope and pray and vote for people with an R behind their name, but we're going to continue down the path until the lawyers and the insurance and the regulation and the state income tax changes. If those three things don't change, we're not going to change our path, regardless of how many temper tantrums Governor Toddler throws.
Well, I have been told that, these comments do make it to their office and that they pay attention. And I hope that the sentiment that's being expressed by the public does get communicated, because this next round, if insurance is not addressed in a serious way, I think there will be a revolt from the common person on the street.
Well, Nathan, insurance companies are nothing but actuary tables. They're mathematically driven companies. That's all they are. How do you spread the risk mathematically between all premium payers?
Right.
And if there's not tort reform, you're not going to change that actuary table. There's no way to do it. And so that is the key. If you do tort reform, insurance will take care of itself.
Very good point.
I don't disagree at all. I think you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head.
It's amazing how all the voters agree, but nothing ever changes.
Well, I really appreciate. I tell you, one who I think is helping is Gabe Ferment. He seems to understand some of this, and I appreciate his willingness to step out on this matter. And I know he's frustrated with it as well. I hope we'll have some more that will bring some substantive ideas to the table. Now, this is a fiscal year, so they're limited with 5 non-fiscal matters. But some of this seems pretty fiscally related.
Yep. Oh, absolutely so.
Well, it's all fiscally related. Nathan, there's some parables and some proverbs about people understanding but doing the wrong things anyway. So I don't care about who understands. I care about results.
Right.
You can understand a lot, but not accomplish anything.
Well,
and nobody's accomplishing anything down there.
And at some point, the elected officials have to be held accountable. And, it was interesting when Al and Sandra were talking on Monday about the fact that it was people's knee-jerk reaction on this Amendment 2 that they just don't trust, because all the elected officials were what they feel like shoving it down everybody's throats. You've got to vote that yes, you've got to vote yes. And people's reaction was, well, if you're going to push this hard, I don't trust you. And at some point in time, you've got to, you elected these people. But yet you don't trust them?
That says a lot.
Well, people do not react well to coercion.
Right.
No matter what the motive.
Absolutely.
So you can have the purest motive and try to strong arm people, and they're going to resist as a survival instinct. And the thing about this amendment that failed was the teachers component. We've been lied to in Louisiana since the 80s about passing laws to protect the teachers. Raise the tax, the lottery, the votes, we even were lied to under Governor John Dumbbell Edwards. We're going to lose Louisiana State football if you don't pass this tax on education. So people are tired of our government using the teachers as a political pawn to get what they want.
Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate your call and the sentiment that you expressed. I'm 2 minutes past my time to take the break, but thank you so much for the call and helping us process through this.
Well,
all right. Good day to you. Back with more right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics, where we pride ourselves in providing exceptional care. We offer a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, acute and urgent care, podiatry, and gastroenterology, along with an on-site lab and x-ray. Our new family medicine physician, Dr. Noah Miller, is accepting new patients. Same-day appointments are available, and most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's Marksville, 4242 Highway 1192, 402-4073, online at theclinics.us.
Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Fentanyl is being used to make fake prescription pills. Assume any prescription pills you see online are fake, including Oxy, Adderall, and Xanax. To help prevent opioid overdose, naloxone is available over-the-counter through pharmacies, and many community service organizations have naloxone and fentanyl testing strips for free. Be prepared, carry naloxone, and know the signs of an overdose. If you or a loved one needs help or resources, go to opioidhelpla.org. Brought to you by the Louisiana Department of Health. Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before. Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people pay to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BON Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BON Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talk. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Well, we went a little long with the last segment, so we've only got a couple of minutes here before we take the bottom of the hour break, and then we'll come back with Mary Bird from the Kiwanis, Alexander Kiwanis Club, talking about the things that they have coming up, especially the big crawfish boil at the end of the month.
So we'll keep back into the whole tariff stuff after a while.
Yeah, I think we ought to.
Not enough time right now.
Hold that off just for a second. Pardon me, because that is important. I guess what is important, though, is today's National Burrito Day. So I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't. Well,
first Thursday in April, according to our show prep, is National Burrito Day.
That one, obviously, because
burrito does mean little donkey in Spanish. That does.
Yeah. Oh.
But the edible kind was invented in the early 1900s, and Americans have discovered them, and we eat a lot of burritos. I don't know how many. We eat a bunch of them, but Chipotle's got deals. Taco Bell's got deals today.
All you need are Taco Bell deals. There you go.
I got to tell you, I'm not promoting them.
Look really, really good.
I have their app, and I get ads for stuff on their app, and you can eat, if you buy off the app, for like $7.
Oh, you can eat cheap at Taco Bell.
Yes.
I know. You could buy one of everything on the menu and still come out under $50.
Now, if you come in and pay for it, off the straight menu, it might be more pricey. They had something different. I noticed the last time I was in there. My daughter works there now, so I'm popping in there.
So now you're popping in there here.
Nobody's taking your order. Everything's kiosk.
Well, McDonald's has gotten that way almost.
Well, McDonald's has both, right? You can go to the counter.
Still go up to the counter.
Taco Bell, it's kiosk only. and the sign says if you have cash, then you come to the counter and you tap the bell and you give them cash.
Yeah.
But it's kiosk only. So I think we're going that way in a lot of places.
Because you can't hire people.
I have to admit, though, I kind of like it. I like having that level of control over what my order is. I know if I want, no onions or no pickles, which I like.
I like when you can use the app and do it all up front and just have it done. Say, here's where, and then, I mean, you know what? Your phone knows everything you're doing anyway. So what? It's tracking you on your way as you drive to the drive-thru, and then it knows when you're there.
I don't like that where you have to keep it on because they're geofencing to find out. We'll start preparing when you get close. No, I know. I place my order. I know I'm going to be there.
But I want hot and ready and waiting on me.
It is a problem. Even Dairy Queen has an app, and so it's easy to hit your last order for that double chocolate brownie blizzard.
Our Dairy Queen here, I don't ever pass by there that there is not a line for that Dairy Queen.
That's right.
Like, that has got to be one of the most...
well, they don't have a long line anyway.
Well, they don't have a long line, but
or space for stacking. But the Pineville Dairy Queen always has a line. The Ball Dairy Queen always has a line.
I tell you what, during COVID, during that little bit of time where everything was locked down and everybody was home and we had all of our kids back home because the colleges were all closed, that was their nightly. That was where they would go to get out of the house every night. Like every night, all the kids would gather up and be like, okay, it's time for our Dairy Queen run. And they would go into Dairy Queen. All of them would get their little same thing and come back to the house. And it was kind of their little nightly excursion there.
Yeah.
So, because that was when only drive-thrus were open. Because,
There's something about a blizzard, though. I mean, you can try to get the fake blizzard at Sonic or the fake blizzard at McDonald's. It's just not the same as the Dairy Queen blizzard.
I'm still a Frosty fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Chocolate?
Well, yeah, because there used to not be flavors.
Yeah.
There was only one Frosty. And then when it came up that there's I'm like, what do you mean there's flavors of Frosties? I want the original Frosty, whatever it is. But when I used to be, when we lived in Savannah, I was a recruiter at the hospital. And our hospital had a Wendy's inside it. And so that was my afternoon snack. I'd go over there. They had a Subway and a Wendy's. So you get the Subway cookie, because Subway cookies are good.
They are.
They're mushy and gooey.
They are.
And then you get the Frosty and combine them.
I'm glad there's no tariffs on fast food. Which we'll circle back around to after our next guest. But I still tell you, I don't know if you tried it, though, but the McDonald's French fries dipped in a chocolate shake is
the
bomb. It is
I guess the salt and the sweet.
It is. That's what it is. It doesn't work with the Wendy's because, I mean, you like the Frosty, but their fries don't have the crunch. McDonald's fries have the crunch.
Oh, McDonald's fries are the best.
They are the best.
Yeah.
All right, it's 8:30. We're going to take the bottom of the hour break. When we come back, Mary Bird from the Alexander Kiwanis will be with us on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Bloomberg Money Minute. Roughly $1.7 trillion is set to be erased from the S&P 500 when trading opens today, amid worries that President Donald Trump's sweeping new round of tariffs could plunge the economy into a recession. The president's tariffs are aimed at countering large trade imbalances with the U.S. and reviving manufacturing here at home. Stocks linked to global trade are bearing the brunt in pre-market trading this morning, with apparel and shoemakers, including Nike and Lululemon, falling as much as 12% after hefty tariffs were imposed on Vietnam and other production hubs. Apple dropped 7.5%, while several big U.S. tech names fell more than 5%. Recurring applications for U.S. unemployment benefits at the highest since November of 2021, adding to signs it's becoming harder for out-of-work people to re-enter the workforce. The initial jobless claims number was more subdued and came in smaller than expected for last week. Dow futures down more than 1,200 points. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
Only two things in life are certain, death and taxes. How about one more? Switch from Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile to cut your bill in half with Pure Talk. For just $25 a month to get unlimited talk, text, 5 gigs of data on America's most dependable 5G network. Making the switch, it's simple, fast, and easy. You dial pound 250, you say the keyword Pure Talk, and make the switch. You do it now, you save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, wireless, by Americans, for Americans.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Good morning, our Thursday, another mostly cloudy day. Still warm, 88 for the afternoon high. The wind, a major factor again today. Southerly breeze 10 to 20, gusting as high as 35. Now tonight, mostly cloudy, windy, 72 for the overnight low. And our Friday, finally, a little bit of sun. Partly sunny skies, 89 for the afternoon high with the chance of an afternoon shower. And that's your forecast from the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center. I'm Dick Gratian. Currently 76 degrees in Cenla.
To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
And good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back. As I lean across and make a quick camera adjustment, we're joined by the lovely Mary Bird from the Kiwanis Club. Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Good morning. How are y'all?
I'm doing well. Glad to have you here today. Enjoyed visiting with you the other day about the upcoming crawfish boil that you have the Alexander Kiwanis Club taking place at the end of the month, April the 26th. And this is a big deal for Kiwanis.
Absolutely. It's huge. First of all, we've been a club for 88 years.
Wow.
And this is our 31st annual crawfish bowl. And what's really important is that what we do for other kids, for the kids. We have a terrific kid club that's terrific kids come out, and it's chosen for a school that is a minority and low socioeconomic. And then basically what we do, we let them fish, and they have crafts and bouncies, and we feed them, and they just have a big time at our lodge. Also, we have our reading program. We sponsor pre-Ks for their school supplies. We've even also, what we're doing now is starting of course, Key Club is very vital to us. That is with 4 high schools. Peabody High School, we just got a charter with them. We're excited about them coming on board with us and helping them, as well as Menard, Ash, and we're trying to get Bolton. We're working on that, and then Oak Hill as well. We are also introducing, and I'm on the board for a lot of things, but we're getting a Circle KI club at LSUA for the college students as well. So my daughter's out there, so she's already got 4 girls joined. And to get a charter, you need 20. So if anybody's listening to this and you got a daughter or son that's at LSUA, sign up. Let us know. But the Crawfish Bowl, let's get back to that. That's the real fun part. We've got Gary Cathy Band playing for live entertainment. It's at our lodge, and that address is 145 Kiwanis Camp Road in Pineville. We will have tickets for sale at Kids Bedazzled. We're trying to give locations so that you can go if you don't know a Kiwanis Club member. But number one, get it from your Kiwanis Club member, as well as Halliburton Auto Clinic. So those are the 2 locations. You can pick them up. And it's just a wonderful program of what we do. We only do 2 fundraisers a year. The next is the actual pancake breakfast down here at First United Methodist Church. But this helps fund all the projects that we do. And it's only, our motto is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving one world, one child, and one community at a time. And Cenla is our community.
So 88 years of service in the local community, that is nothing to be sneezed at. That's quite an accomplishment. And you guys have, You meet, do you meet every week or twice a month? How does that work?
It's the first Tuesday, third and fourth Tuesday. And we do have board meetings at the lodge, which we have a social. If anyone's ever interested, this year, I don't know what my title is. They're telling me I'm VP and then president-elect. Yeah. So I'll be president next year. Patsy Shaw is our president this year. We got a lot of the women stepping up to the plate lately. It's been a lot of men for many years, and thankfully we got some power of women in there. So we take them all. We take all women and men. If anybody wants to join, let us know because we are growing, but we also volunteering is why our hearts are what we do in it, and we volunteer for the children. Period, and then that's what keeps us going because we know we're doing good in our community.
So first, third, and fourth Tuesdays.
Yes. At Mercados.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome food, y'all. We love their food. Yeah, we have a board meeting on the 2nd. But anyway, yes, anytime, just let us know. We do invite guests, so you'll have to catch one of us Kiwanis members, and we'll invite you to come on in. But yes, we meet at Mercados. We support them. They support us. They've been members also. Awesome. So it's just a wonderful club for what we do.
Well, they got a great meeting room back there.
Yeah, they do. They really do. But the Crawfish Boil is open to anybody that wants to buy tickets and show up.
Yes, absolutely. Please. You can get it, like I said, from Kiwanis member at one of those 2 locations I mentioned, and at the gate, if so happens to just run late. That's sausage, that's crawfish, that's corn, and chilled beverages with the live band on our lodge camp, which is the lake there. It's gorgeous out there, y'all. My daughter just did her senior pictures out there. So, wow. And Darren Green is our secretary, and his son did his pictures out there. So we really like that lodge.
Of course.
So and we rent that lodge out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's
yes, we will rent that lodge out, and we have a rental building at the closer to the road for weddings or receptions or parties that we rent out as well.
Oh, that's really good to know.
And Keith Hillman's the person to talk for that.
Okay. Now your calendar says it's from 3 to 6 p.m. on the 26th.
Yes.
And what are the ticket prices?
They're $100. Again, this is all donations. Right. It's a fundraiser for 2 people, feeds 2 people. And basically look at it as $50 a person.
Right.
And but more are welcome.
Well, and if you think about where that money's going, you're going to get filled with all the good crawfish you can eat, but you're also going to make sure you're funding some phenomenal programs for our youth in Central Louisiana.
Absolutely. And thankfully, I spoke with Lieutenant Billy Nungester, and he's the one who donated some of our crawfish. Wow. So I have to give kudos, shout out to him. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm real proud to have him as my friend. So thankfully he donated some crawfish.
He has done that so much with donating Louisiana Seafood to the Louisiana Seafood Tourism Council, or whatever it's called, Louisiana Seafood Commission, I think. And, for nonprofits, they need to reach out. They want to donate to these good causes, which makes your dollars go even further, right?
Absolutely, because that helps us do the programs that we are so wanting to do for our community. There's so many schools that need us, and the pre-K seems to be one of the number one school supplies that is needed, and that's where we target and we focus on.
That is so critical because especially the schools and the communities that you've chosen, there are some kids that could need that extra help. And so that's absolutely wonderful. So Mary Bird, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Kids Bedazzled, Halliburton, where else?
And your local Kiwanis members. And y'all don't forget it. And tickets are on sale now. So get your tickets and enjoy some great crawfish. Bernard's is cooking it for us, so it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. That's exactly right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping in this morning, and we'll be reminding you guys again as we get closer on the 26th for the Kiwanis Crawfish Boil. Only two fundraisers a year. You're not hitting people up very often, but this is a great one to participate in, especially this time of the year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank y'all so much for having us. We're just privileged to be here. Thank you.
All right. We appreciate you. Mary Bird with Kiwanis Club. Back with more right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
A long-awaited premiere is finally here in Alexandria. Experience the magic of Sleeping Beauty, performed by the State Ballet Theater of Ukraine. Be captivated by Tchaikovsky's legendary score, dazzling hand-painted sets, and exquisite costumes in this family-friendly performance for all ages. Join us at Copeland Saunders Performing Arts Center on April 5th. Tickets are selling fast. Secure your seats now at Copeland-SaundersPAC.org. Don't miss this unforgettable experience.
When you're going through something, you want to be heard, respected, and helped. Louisiana 988 is here to provide that, offering 24/7 emergency emotional support. Specialists will genuinely listen, treat you with dignity, and help you find the resources you need. It's free, confidential, and most people who reach out report feeling better right in the moment. Call or text 988 anytime.
You got from school about the incident today.
Scary.
You know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
Yeah, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, anything, you need to tell an adult, someone you know and trust. That can be hard, but speaking up about a problem is what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Did you know more women under 40 are getting breast cancer? Especially Black and Jewish women whose cancers are often more deadly. If you're a woman, talk to your doctor by age 25 about your breast cancer risk. The American College of Radiology recommends you ask your doctor if you should get a mammogram before age 40. Need other tests like an MRI with your yearly mammogram, or should be checked more than once a year. For more information, visit mammographySavesLives.org.
I truly believe, just as God assigns angels to us,
It's the unknown.
I think the devil, and he puts a vulgar twist on it,
It's the unexpected.
I think he assigns demons to us.
It's the unbelievable.
And when those demons are assigned, they get to know everything about that person.
Coast to coast AM, late nights.
As crazy as that may sound, I truly believe there's something to it.
Overnights, it's Coast to Coast AM on Talk Radio 970 KSYL. Do you have a drug problem? Do you want to stop? Well, there are folks who can help. Call Narcotics Anonymous at 1-585-DON'T-USE or visit their website at larna.org for more information.
Talk back. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
And we welcome you back to Talk Back on this lovely, well, it's actually terrific Thursday
Terrific
because Trish is
Thursday.
here. Terrific Trish on Thursday. So, okay. But we're excited to have you here. The rest of the show is us and you at 318-442-8255, the BOM talk line. We'd love to have your calls to chat with us about what's on your mind. We're still kind of wanting to circle back around on the tariffs because, we see that as being a big deal. And what I find surprising, and I hope I didn't lose my link, but what I find surprising is kind of the tone of the national media. No, I shouldn't say surprising. It's to be expected. It's not surprising at all. But it's almost like that interview we played a while ago with the representative from Ohio.
She just kept on going, trying to turn this into bad news.
Trying to turn it into bad news. Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better. It's like trying to shoot a hole in it. But I'm going to tell you who is incredible is Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary for the president. When she talks, she's so prepared. And that representative was too. She tried to throw something to him about, well, what about the Mercedes-Benz dealership in Tuscaloosa, Alabama? Well, he's in Ohio. How's he going to know? But he had a great answer.
Oh, he had a great answer. And he knows, look, Ohio is an industrial state.
Yeah.
He knows these things. And he knows how this is going to affect all of them. So
he knows it's time to knock the rust off the Rust Belt, right?
Absolutely.
That's the heartbeat behind it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Trish and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. It's Tom Spencer with the Garden District. How are you guys?
Tom, how are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful day and just can't wait to go attack the world.
All right.
There you go.
Well, you mentioned specifically Tom Spencer with the Garden District. You guys got anything going on over in the Garden District?
Yeah, well, we have a change going on because we had our Garden District Day, and then we also included our yard sale that day, scheduled for April 19th. We got a little pushback because that's the same weekend as Easter, and I understand. A lot of people are going like, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. We got family coming in, and we're going to be busy. And some people are like, hey, we're going to be out of town.
Yeah.
So we've just decided to push it back to May. We're going to look at the community events already going on so we don't conflict with any of those, and then just push that back to May sometime. But, the weather's only going to continue to get better from here, so it won't be a problem.
Might have a little bit less pollen in May than in April the 19th.
We can pray for that.
Hopefully.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's a big deal for the Garden District. That do you get good participation across the board?
We do. It's one of our signature events. The two big events are the Christmas Tour of Homes, which is a huge success. Annie and her crew run that, and they've done some really great things with that. And then the Garden District Day is we actually lose a little money on that. We don't make any money at all on that. But where we win is we get people to come into the Garden District, see the lifestyle, feel the vibe, and just enjoy the history and everything that's going on. It's a good day.
Now, Tom, I'm slow, but a light bulb just went off. This is recruitment.
Yes, absolutely.
I just realized what you're doing. I thought y'all were just being nice, but you're really you're screening your future neighbors is what you're doing.
That's right. We're wanting people to come buy houses in the Garden District and see that it's a great place to live. We love our houses. There's no cookie cutters over here. You're going to get something special that tells a story.
I was literally about to say one of the beautiful things to me about the Garden District is that there's so uniqueness. It's not crack homes. It's not where a developer went in and they put four floor plans out there and every home is one of these four. There's such diversity, and you don't ever know what's going to be around the next corner.
Every home has its own personality.
You're right. My house was built in 1916. It was a 2-bedroom house with a very small floor plan. And through the years, the previous family, there's only one family that lived in my house prior to 2 generations of Rosenthals that lived in my house. And they just kept building towards the back of the lot. And then eventually built an apartment in the back for the 2 brothers to live in. And so most houses have a story to tell about how they're not the original like they started. They just kept growing and getting bigger and adding on. And there's so many creative people in our community that go and make these houses look amazing. Mark Gravel did my house and just really made it a showcase.
Well, my brother may have done the cabinets in your house if Mark did it, because he did a lot of work for Mark. And Mark's done a lot of homes in that area, and they are so unique. And they have names, and it's like, if whatever family lived there when it was first built, typically it's that family's. Yeah. It's the
such and such house, right?
Will your house ever be the Spencer house, or will it always be the?
Sadly, not in my lifetime.
I guess you have to die to get that honor, right?
I would have to move out or die, and I don't plan on doing any of those anytime soon.
Very good. Well, Tom, thanks for your call. Keep on walking, brother, running around that racetrack of life, and appreciate your call this morning.
You bet. God bless.
Thank you so much. Tom Spencer with the Garden District and their upcoming event. I'm sure they'll be calling in soon to tell us more about that. And we'll be back with more on
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Louisiana has a free hearing aids program sponsored by the Louisiana Commission for the Deaf and coordinated by New Horizons Independent Living Center here in Cenla. To qualify for a free hearing aid, you must be a resident of Louisiana, at least 50 years of age or older. You must also meet the hearing loss and annual household income criteria. Now, if you do, your hearing aid is absolutely free. To find out if you qualify, call New Horizons Independent Living Center at 318-484-3596.
Time out. Right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself.
We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
We're Summa Broadcasting, local radio, doing local public service.
The Refuge Children's Advocacy Center serves as a spokesperson for children in abusive situations. The RCAC trains community volunteers to serve as court-appointed special advocates through their CASA program and offer trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy to help children subjected to emotional abuse. Find out how you can help at childrensadvocacy.net.
This has been a public service reminder from Summa Broadcasting.
Hey, y'all, looking for the hottest country? Into today's best country, 100.3 KRRV. We've got your favorite country hits and new country songs that'll have you singing all day long. From the legends you love to the stars of tomorrow, it's gotta be 100.3 KRRV. Tune in and turn it up.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching saves lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
And good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back.
We're back.
Put my headphones back on. I'm usually a little bit more prepared than that one, but the music was good. Hey, we just got a couple of minutes left in this show. I want to mention to you tomorrow morning on Talk Back, Al will be back in with Sandra, and he will have Gabe Furman at 7:30. We mentioned Gabe a little bit earlier. They have the special session or the regular session coming up, and we're hoping that Gabe will take some of the insurance issues he's talked about before. And then at 8:30, Shelley Johnson will be in. It's National Poetry Month. She's just published a new book. She's the one who wrote that Pretty Little Widow book that I found to be very interesting. I bought a copy of it, and her poetry is very moving. So I look forward to I get to hear the Friday show after I get through with chapel. So I use the app to listen to it later.
Yeah, which you can always do. Listen on the app.
That's right.
Now you can go back. You can watch on Facebook. You can watch on YouTube afterwards on demand anytime you want to. You can see us. If you want to watch us as we're sitting here and I'm trying to talk with my hands through everything, you can watch us too, or just listen on demand. So many ways to catch us now.
Now, Facebook has made a new implementation where videos are only archived for 30 days.
Right.
But YouTube is still forever.
YouTube is there.
Right.
So you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Easy to do. Give us a click, and then you can, sit there and watch us. As we
always like you being part of the show. Call 318-442-8255, the BOM talk line. And I appreciate, you think about the sponsors. I'm assuming you still get people that say good things about the show, how much they enjoy it, the local connections.
Absolutely.
Well, it's people like BOM and the clinics, these regular sponsors that make this available to us. And I just encourage you to, if you already do business with one of those, make sure you thank them. And if you don't do business with one of those, even if
listen to the commercials that play.
That's right.
And also, if you can't call in, because we monitor the comments on all of these videos too, you can comment. All of us get Facebook messages. We get all of that during the show. So if there's something you want us to comment on, or while we've got somebody on air with us, if there's something and you're at work and you can't pick up the phone and call us, there's so many ways to get in touch with us.
So I had wanted to do, and I don't know what happened with it, but the school board on Tuesday was going to consider an application, a proposal to, on the open enrollment, make sure that it doesn't affect athletics. And I don't know what became of that. Did you follow that?
So I've been trying to see, because I spoke with one of the school board members on Tuesday before that meeting. And it was actually Coach Wally Fall, because I get to see him at Rotary and catch up with him. And he said, it could be quite a meeting. And I asked him if he was going to wear his hard hat again for the meeting. But afterwards, the only thing I had heard is that those were taken off the agenda.
Okay.
Some of the issues, and especially that issue on the open enrollment, was taken off the agenda. So, this is one of the good things that we have going for us here in Rapides Parish, according to me, because I know what it does for home sales. And when you're looking at property values and where people are looking at buying properties and things like that, the fact that when you get to the high school level, we do have this available. But I was not at the meeting, and I have not heard from anyone that was at the meeting.
I just pulled up Melissa Gregory she covers those for the Town Talk, and she did post that both of those, the big items, the open enrollment motion and the one considering maintenance and facilities, which I think probably had to do with the Peabody field house.
I saw that whole project was put on hold.
Yeah, so those things got pulled from discussion. So that will come back around, I'm sure. And folks are going to want to keep an eye on that. So that's some big stuff that really is important too. I don't know. I've heard differing debates that if you have open enrollment, there is no loophole with the LHSAA to allow your students have to apply for the school that they attend.
Right.
The proposal was that they would play for the school they were zoned for. So if a kid wanted to go, because Rapides Parish open enrollment was supposed to be for academics, right, and programming, but mainly academics. So if you felt like you were in a failing district school and you wanted your kid to be in a better school, they could go to that school. But this new proposal would have said they would have stayed sports eligible at their zone.
Well, what it would have done for sports for LHSAA is taken us out of that select category. Correct. And, you saw what happened with Ash this year, making it to the state, in football. There would have been a big difference had they not been in the select.
If they not had to play a junior college in the final game.
Exactly.
Really, I mean, that's a school that truly does and has the right, because they are a truly private school.
Yep.
They recruit from all over the state, and it really was like a junior college.
Yeah.
Had Ash been in the non-select, I think we would be celebrating a national championship.
Absolutely.
Or state championship.
Maybe not a national championship.
State championship.
We're holding out for the
There
Auburn
is a national championship that you'll be talking to us about next week. What day is that game? Or when's the next time Auburn plays?
Saturday in the Final Four. So
big deal.
We'll see where we go.
All right. So come back tomorrow. It'll be Al and Sandra talking again to Representative Gabe Furman at 7:30, and then Shelley Johnson at 8:30. For Trish and Nathan, it's been a terrific Thursday. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and whatever your weekend holds, I hope it goes well for you. Thank you guys for being a part of the Talkback family.